free of that.
Yo, yes, it's the time again. It's GunSlingerz, and tonight we've got a dream team of a panel tonight. We're all going to be just discussing, as Martinelli states his claim, is it time up for Aubameyang? Let's go! Wicked, guys. Oh my gosh. Viewers, we've got one for you this evening, man. Look at this panel here, boy. Wow, it's a proper dream team. We've got Gumza. What's happening, bro? How you been? You good?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good. Ready for Thursday. Can't wait.
Ready for Thursday? I'll tell you what. But first, you've got to get through tonight. I'll tell you what, boy. This debate tonight is going to rumble on for time. GTalksArsenal, bless, bro. It's good to have you on, man. It's like you had to call up and I tell you, boy, I was hoping you was fit, and you called and you made it. You made it.
Yeah, man. No, definitely, man. Like I said, obviously I've done a lot of kind of collaborations with Gunner King. He's been on some of the Cannon Chatter shows. I've been on here before. Yeah, this, to be honest, like I said to you in the DMs, I'm not gonna hide. This is one of the only channels I actually watch. So
hey,
you know
listen,
what I mean?
it's reciprocated, because I tell you what, you guys are killing it, absolutely killing it. I love watching your guys' content. It's always kind of pleasure, it's riveting. Love it. We'll get into everything. Will all be in the description where we can catch you. But and also we just tell us a little bit more about Cannon Chatter. You know, where can we catch you, man?
Yeah, so obviously the YouTube channel is Cannon Chatter TV. We started the whole thing from kind of like obviously what happened with COVID and lockdowns, being bored at home and just kind of interacting on Twitter. So me and Stephen obviously started it up. We've since taken on Lottie. She's doing bits with regards the women's game right now. So yeah, man. So you can follow us basically Cannon Chatter TV on Twitter, Cannon Chatter TV on YouTube, and that's basically the Twitter handle as well. So yeah, just come over. We've got a show tonight actually, straight after this at 9 p.m.
100. No,
so if you wanna
busy.
If you wanna get some more, just come over.
100%. I'll make sure we all do that, and obviously everything will be in the description from this. Akpos, bruh, this for me. What's happening, man? I've been watching you for time on Kunle's channel on One Touch, boy. But today, you're here on GunSlingerz, bro. It's good to have you, man. What's happening? How you been?
Well, I'm good. I'm excited about Thursday game, and I'm excited to be making my debut on the Armoury TV. So let's go. Let's bring it on.
Hey, man, it's all love. It's all love. And the man, the legend that is Ozzy Gooner, man. I tell you what, listen, you've been killing us in the WhatsApp chats. Absolutely killing us, man. I swear. How you been, man?
I've been good, man. I've been good. I can't complain, Early morning here in Australia, but loving life right now, man.
What's the weather like? Go on, kill us. What's the weather like?
Oh, man, it's fucking horrible.
Oh, cool. Cool. That's good.
It's horrible, man. It's horrible. Good. There ain't no sunshine.
Good, man. I'm glad we're on the level. And listen, King, what's happening, sir? How you been, man? We've been killing those people on TikTok. What's been happening? What's going on?
Yeah, all good. Just working. And yeah, excited for Thursday, man. Can't wait, man.
I know, man. I know. It's always kind of like dodgy though, isn't it, Old Trafford? It's just one of those. It's always dodgy there. It's always dodgy. But look, I'm comfy. I'm calm. Niger, what's happening, bro? Where you been, man? What's going on, man? You got tunes for us or what?
Can't you hear them?
You're gonna have to lift that up a bit, bro. We're struggling here.
You're not hearing the tunes now?
Nah.
Well,
It's
look,
them
it looks
levels
like
that
me
we're
just
talking
bubbling to
about.
the tunes right now, boy.
Yeah, we're bubbling in spirit. We're bubbling in spirit.
Yeah, oh yeah. Now, how's everyone doing today? We are here. We're here to clear some things up. Martinelli, player for the future. Aubameyang. We'll get into that at some point.
But you know what? Let's get into that right now. Let's get into that. And you know what? This whole thing, really, you know, the Aubameyang discussion's been going on. It's been rumbling on, I think, for like months. You know, are his powers fading, or is he like, you know, the victim of a system where where the system lacks overall, you know, chance creation? So, do you know what? That for me is the debate. And listen, if Aubameyang does play or Martinelli plays up front or whatever, or if they both play, it'll be interesting to see how things turn out. But I'm going to come to you first, Gumza, man, because I know, listen, man, as the man who does our breakdowns, you know, you chop things up and give us the insights to what goes on. Where do you stand on this? I mean, listen, Martinelli came on Saturday and just tore it up, basically. Aubameyang didn't have one of his best games, and you know the discussion has been rambling on for months. Are his powers fading? Is it time now for a new Jedi Knight to come in and take the mantle?
I got two answers. If I'm honest. One is for here and now,
politician,
and one's for the future. I don't like how this stream's been portrayed, because you lot have left Lacazette out of the question, and you lot know Lacazette is the one I'm calling.
I haven't left Lacazette out of the question. Speak to the creative director.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to him afterwards. But for me, Auba, he probably could do with a game or two off. I love Auba for what he's brought to the club. I think at a time where I couldn't connect with the team at one stage a few years ago, and I think he's definitely one who helped me kind of. Do you know what I mean? He had that interaction with the fans, and he became instantly a crowd favorite. And do you know what I mean? He helped the youngsters as well interact with the crowd a bit more. And so I think, do you know what I mean? That there, you can't put a price on that for what he's done for the club, and his goals for 2 seasons carried us. But I've always stood by Lacazette. I think brings more to the team. A question everyone I keep hearing talk at the moment keeps saying he's working hard, which yeah, that is the standard. He is working hard, he's pressing, but
that's the least you expect, right?
Yeah, and this Arsenal team now, name me a player who doesn't work hard, and I'll wait.
Yeah,
because there's not one. So actually, that now is not enough just to work hard. Yes, it's a bit unfair because his game is built around scoring goals. I'm pretty sure Vardy works hard, and if Vardy's not getting much service, he's probably ineffective. And then you see Iheanacho now becomes more important to Leicester when times are going against them. So for me, Lacazette should be the one to start. And I think for me, he's the one to start. But again, he's not a long-term solution. And the Martinelli shout, I haven't really seen him play up front, apart from his first season in UEFA Cup. So I don't really want to put all my eggs on that being the striker to go with. So yeah, I feel I would like to see Martinelli play more, but everyone calling for him to be this star striker, I'm not going to jump on that ledge and say Aubameyang's done. And I think Lacazette should be given more minutes through the middle. And it'd be interesting to see if Odegaard and Lacazette can link up well together. Like, we haven't seen that combination. Do you know what I mean? It's either been Lacazette and Auba or Auba and Odegaard. We haven't seen them two together. Martinelli, I think, will have a part to play on the wings or wherever he plays, but I can't see him dislodging Auba just now. He hasn't done enough for me in that position. When I've seen him play there, like against Chelsea, he didn't get a sniff. And again, we didn't play well, but yeah, there's a lot of flaws in his game. I don't think he's ready to be a number 9 yet. We can see how Auba struggles holding up the ball, and he's a seasoned pro. So how can I expect a 20-year-old?
But that's not his game.
Who's running behind? Yeah,
that's not Auba's game.
No.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm putting Lacazette should be the one starting. I think he just deserves a run in this first 11 starting. And again, so I would try Odegaard and Lacazette for me for the next few weeks, personally.
Starting on Thursday.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard. But
come on, Gunner King's got to start on Thursday, man.
Yeah, I would go. He's got to start. For me, Lacazzette's got to start. It's who you starting with.
Ooh, you asking me who am I starting with?
No, I'm just saying in general. It's who for me. It's Lacazette and somebody else. That's
it for you. It's Lacazette.
It's Lacazette, Smith Rowe. If Saka's fit, it's them three and somebody else, either Aubameyang or Odegaard or Martinelli. But Lacazette's got to play.
Okay.
Stick by him.
Okay. Wow. Okay. No, interesting. I mean, Jay, I'm going to come to you, man, because the thing is,
you see that coming from Pyro Destiny, bro? Sorry.
Hold on. He's been a disgrace.
Wow, that's a lot. Hey,
wow.
Get into that.
Harsh.
Wow.
Yeah, harsh.
Wow.
He hasn't thrown the armband on the floor and told the whole bloody stadium.
That's
a disgrace, bro. Come on, man, relax, man. You know, I'm hard, but not like that.
Yeah, that's deep. Wow. If you want to come back in and maybe if you want to say that maybe not a disgrace, but fair enough, man. I wouldn't say disgrace. Gee, I mean, where you standing on this, man? Do you think he's been a victim, or Aubameyang has been a victim, maybe to a system that lacks chance creation, or you are ready to kind of say, nah, you know what, Lacazette's my man, really?
You know what? It's a tough one because, like, I have to agree with Gumza to some respects with when he said about Aubameyang signing for Arsenal, because I think for me, like, I think a lot of Arsenal fans, there was almost like a detachment from the club to a certain extent in terms of the way I felt about the team, and the Aubameyang transfer was definitely one of those highlights in terms of kind of getting the fans excited, and all of a sudden we had a player, that could really kind of get us on the edge of our seats in terms of, like, excitement, scoring goals. And like Gumza said, for 2 seasons, he literally carried us when nothing else was really going well for us apart from Aubameyang in the team. For whatever reason, last season, there was COVID, there was, his mum wasn't very well, and I feel as though most Arsenal fans, or most rational Arsenal fans, were really patient because I think you have to understand that despite them being footballers and them getting paid, X amount of money a week, they are still human beings. So things going on in their personal life will definitely affect their game. But for whatever reason, that has kind of snowballed over into this season. Now, a lot of people are putting it down to his age, and I personally don't really buy that. And I know different players do decline at different ages. You got the likes of Ronaldo bossing it in the Premier League, but then Rooney's managing Derby, for example. There is a difference. I do get there's a difference. At the same time, if the likes of Vardy's doing it, I don't personally feel as though that is an excuse for Aubameyang to not be doing it. I think I
don't think there's anything physically wrong with Aubameyang at all.
No, I think a lot of it might be to do with his appetite for the game, potentially. But in terms of him, moving him on and so forth, I think the ball's in Aubameyang's court. I think he's got until basically. Personally, I don't see him leaving in January. I don't see him leaving even next summer. No. I think whoever we bring in, I think is going to be basically going toe-to-toe for the starting spot with Aubameyang next season, because I see Eddie and Laka, the two that are going to go, regardless of whether you agree with that or not. I see those two are the two that are going to leave the club. But I think the ball's in Aubameyang's court. I think, if he pulls up his socks and he gets a couple of goals, I think you could start to see, the best of Aubameyang again. At the same time, I've been very critical of Arsenal this season in terms of their attacking play. I've watched game after game where we've just looked absolutely toothless. Now, I'm no coaching expert or anything like that, but at the end of the day, I see Arteta. I can see the progress that's being made at the back. I can see the team taking shape in terms of the goalkeeper and the back four. But offensively, I have massive question marks because I just can't see. I can't see, the team actually, playing attractive offensive football. So I think it's a bit of both. I think it's a bit of Aubameyang with under par performances, as well as him playing in a system that doesn't necessarily suit him.
I think you're. I'd like what you said, Dan. I think you're right because after the Liverpool game, myself and Gumza, we did the breakdown, and there was a snapshot where we thought, even from schoolboy level, where Aubameyang should have been running to for White to be able to play a ball, or Tavares to be able to play a ball, and he was nowhere in the picture, basically, where someone you would expect to be making a run, he was nowhere there. So I think you're right. He has to take some of the blame basically for his own his performances.
But I don't think he's done though. I don't think he's done.
No.
Do you know what it is? I think if you're well oiled and we had that fluidity going forward, where the years have gone past where we're creating 15, 20 chances a game, Auba would be going mad. But I think the team we are at the moment, we're in that transition where we can't afford for no one to be playing a 7, if that makes sense. And what
100%.
Laka gives you, he gives you that industry. You look at
but you just said that industry. Every player's giving you industry.
No, industry. He impacts it differently. So I look at the penalty, 2 penalties he's won by just getting his body in front of a defender where he had no right getting there. He just impacts the ball. And the other goal was Smith Rowe, where Lacazette he's bundled through. He's tried to go through 3 players. It's bounced back out. Smith Rowe scored. Again on the weekend just gone, he's done the same thing. He's aggressive when he gets the ball, and even though it's not a clean assist, but he's creating chances just by his industry and work rate. Not in just work rate, but actually impacting and getting amongst defenders. So I think that's where he gives you that little bit extra. He just, not to say works harder, but he's more industrial with the ball, if that makes sense. He's got an aggression about him where he's not always trying to do the pretty. He's just going to go for you, and something will create. Like a dirt couch.
Yeah.
You know how frustrating he was watching sometimes. Ugliest player ever. But he just, the ball just bounced off his shin and ends up... Lacazette's more good looking than it, gonna kick. But do you know what I mean? Them kind of players where they're just ugly and horrible, but you don't want to play against them because they're just a nuisance. They're just always there.
They're industrious.
Like, yeah. So I think he gives you that. Sorry to jump in again. I just love Laka in it.
Ozzy, man, which side of the fence are you sitting on? You Aubameyang in, Martinelli? Listen, there's a good chance, even because some people might be thinking that Arteta has a choice to make here. Does he bring Lacazette in, or or Martinelli in and drop Aubameyang? But my feeling is that he'll probably play Aubameyang and bring in Martinelli because Saka's going to be injured. He might be short for the game, but going forward, if everyone's fit, which side of the fence are you sitting?
I want Laka to start. And then I've been calling it for a while. I don't have a problem with Aubameyang. What I'm missing from Aubameyang is an engine and heart. And everyone's talking about his confidence. So don't give him confidence, give him guts. Because my problem is when he's coming out of the tunnel, he's got this look about him like he's searching for something every time. He doesn't look confident. He's looking around. And my problem here is that his energy is also going to be pushed upon the rest of the squad. He's supposed to be our captain. He's supposed to be the one that, even if he's not in the best of form, he's going to have to egg him on. And Lacazette's got this. Lacazette's got the energy. Lacazette's the kind of guy who's going to get in the box. He's going to be a pest. He's not going to stop. You can drag him down with 2 players and he's still going to take a shot off. And at the moment...
Akpos, calm down. I can see you. Calm down, Akpos.
At the moment, on present form, Aubameyang, he just ain't feeling it. He ain't feeling it right now. And I think maybe some time on the bench and off the bench might help him. I don't think he's gone. I don't think he's done. Nah, I don't think Aubameyang's finished.
What's your take on, after he missed that chance on Saturday, obviously, I think I was going to say my probably my grandfather might, tuck that away. He was smiling after. What's your take on that?
That's just him, mate. That's just him. Look, you can't take that personal. Aubameyang's the kind of guy who's always smiling and this and that. That's his character. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not going to go around moping about. He's gonna smile it off and keep going. What I want from Aubameyang is, I want more. I want guts. I want drive. I want a leader. He's supposed to be my captain. I'm not seeing it. I'm not.
So you think then a couple of games, put him to the side?
I'm waiting for you, Nigel. I'm waiting for you. You want to step in the ring with me? I'm waiting. I'm ready to go to the body, son. I'm waiting.
It's not me that's looking for your blood. It's Akpos. I can see him winding up. You talking about Auba?
Yeah,
like
that's
this,
it.
so.
He's holding that right hand. He's just charging it up.
You know what? They come. Let's bring him in though, because I take it.
Bring him in. Bring him in this ring.
Blaspheming right now, Akpos.
Let me put him in the middle because it seems like everyone's against him right now.
I personally am on the fence. But because look, if you ask me out of any of the strikers through 1-on-1, who would I kind of like put money on to tuck it away? I'm saying Aubameyang.
That's what I was going to say. Like, obviously, I've heard like Gumza, you know what I mean, and you guys talk, and don't get me wrong, I hear what you're saying about Lacazette. At the same time, like he's just not clinical enough for me. And when I look at the player we bought, you know, from Leon, I thought, you know, we kind of answered our prayers as a striker, but he's not banged 20 goals. He's not banged 20 in a season since he's been at the club. So if we get one chance against United, my money's on Aubameyang to score it over Laka personally.
Feel me on this, right? At the moment, on present form, even with opportunities, my man, he ain't clinical. He's wasting opportunities. He cost us goals, man.
But he's still got more goals than Laka, though.
Yeah, but he's got more starts than Laka, ain't he?
And Laka's not playing as a striker.
You know, he's getting game time regardless of performance, dude.
When is Laka ever?
Like, no, I'm not worried about Laka's I'm looking right now. I don't have to worry about the past. Yeah, but he hasn't. How many chances has he got on the start?
But there's a reason for that, though.
Guys, how many chances?
Because Aubameyang's got the captaincy armband, buddy. Because he's got the captaincy armband. He starts, man.
It's not just because of the armband. If you look at Aubameyang's stats throughout his whole career, you know, and you look at him in terms of a goal scorer, he's head and shoulders above Laka in every department.
Of course he is. But right now, I need to win games now, not previously. Now I need the next game and the away game after.
Just quickly, also, I think if we're based on one person playing in that position, all the chances fall into that one person. Yes, Auba wins that all day long if we're creating 15 chances for him. My issue with Auba is if we're not creating chances, what's he giving me? And I think Lacazette brings more to the rest of them. So rather than it be 30 goals for Auba, I think if Laka starts, we share the goals round because he seems to do the dirty work, which will let the others thrive a bit more. And that's again, if you're telling me 1-on-1 in front of goal, Auba probably is more clinical, even though Lacazette's goals to game ratio and shots to goals ratio is probably better than his. But again, it's big chances. I think Auba's more clinical. But I think it's the all round.
I want
to bring in that. I
want to hear what Akpos has to say.
Come on, man.
Patiently
wait. I can already guess which side of the fence you're on. I can already guess which side of the fence you're on. So, talk to me. Why is Aubameyang? Because people have been talking for months now about Aubameyang possibly being, you know, his powers waning. It's time for someone else. He's just, you know, picking up 350k per week, and he's happy with that. He's got the Ozil syndrome. He's not bothered. Why should he be playing on Thursday in the next game? Why should he be starting when you got other guys chomping at the bit and actually proving a point when they actually come on? Lacazette's done it when he's coming a sub. He gets people up, gets the crowd going. Martinelli's done it. Great goal. Why should Aubameyang start?
Well, I think in a game like on Thursday, you need your biggest players, you need your best players. In that position, I don't think that we have any player currently that's better than him. He has had games when he has got some chances where he should score, the penalty miss, the miss in the last game against Newcastle. But I still look at the strikers we've got currently in the football club, and I say that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is still the best striker we have in that position. And in the game against this United defense, I see this United defense as a defense that has been conceding goals in the past couple of weeks. And we all know that on this panel that if we have one chance in that game, who would we want it to fall to? His goals has been carrying us for the last couple of seasons. When we won the FA Cup, it was very instrumental to us winning the FA Cup.
Very.
We should not forget about that. One thing that I think that we need to do more is we are supporters of this football club. When a player is having this bad patches of form, we need to support them. I think now Auba has been somebody who is more like a fan favorite. We love this guy. Because I think when Thierry Henry left, when Robin van Persie left, he's the closest we've had to a world-class striker in this football club.
I agree with that.
other strikers have come in, they've not been able to, replicate the form how much goal they've scored in the previous club. But he has come in from Borussia Dortmund. He has scored a good number of goals, not just one season. 2 seasons, it was just his goals for us. Take away his goals, and man, we'll be in a very bad position. Deep down that table, no bragging rights.
Right, if you take Ozzy Gunner's take though, now. What is he doing now?
About now. I still think
because remember credit in the bank. How long?
How much credit does he have?
I understand that there will be a time when his credit in the back will run out. But I think that it's having a patch of bad games. He needs our support. I still think it needs to be in that team because a lot of people have been saying a lot of things about him not tracking back in the last season and all of that. But this season, we've been seeing him doing it. We've been seeing him leading the press from the front. But I still think the manager needs to have more faith in him. Personally, that's my opinion. Have more faith in him.
The manager needs more faith in him.
Ignite, man. Come in whenever you want.
The manager needs to have more faith in him because one thing I think he needs right now is the trust of this manager and the trust of every fan to support him to do what he knows how to do best until he gets back to that the Auba that we know who's keep putting.
I don't think trusting the managers. I think
this is what I'm gonna say. Yeah, last season we backed him. He had a bad season last season. Let's not get it twisted. We backed him to the end. Like he's the guy. That was the season where that FA Cup stuff and the goals he scored. That's what saved him from the crucifixion last season. This season has come on. He's our captain. So far, our captain has missed 2 penalties, and he's still probably going to take the next one. He's missed sitter upon sitter. And
how many sitters? Sorry, how many sitters has he missed? Beside the one against Newcastle, how many can you remember?
I can't count, but I know
the week before when he had the bad touch and Saka was offside. That's another one he's missed.
That's another one again. But
that was no sitter. That was no sitter.
So
like a world-class striker should be able to control that ball and put it in the back of the net.
Lewandowski's punishing you there.
FA Cup season would have scored that, right? But this is what I'm going to say about Auba, because my issue is not 100% with Auba, right? My issue is the way we set up. And I've been talking about this even in the FA Cup season. I've been telling everyone, unless we fix the amount of chances we create for our striker, Auba's eventually going to be starved with chances. Arteta refuses to fix that issue. So for the fact that our manager refuses to fix that issue, what's happened is Auba has eventually got frustrated with all the great. Because for me, last season especially, I used to praise him for the runs he was making that none of our players were seeing. He was making some incredible runs, but it seems like this season is like I've made all those runs. They've not seen me. I've got to look for the ball somewhere else. If you looked at the game against Newcastle, there were so many times I'm like, the ball's getting to the byline. I'm thinking, where's Auba? Where's Auba? How's Auba not busting the gut to get into the box right now? How is he on the left or on the at the edge of the box? He should be busting the gut to get in there. And not only that, he's missing sitters left, right, and center. My issue is the fact that him being a captain, that means the manager has told him, no matter how good or bad you play, I'm going to play you anyway. So he's way too comfortable. So what I'm saying, I'm not saying he's done. Definitely not saying he's done. As you said, he's our best number 9 at the club. So he needs to feel some fear, like I'm droppable. Even though that's why I say the captain's armband needs to be taken away from him. Because maybe Arteta is like, I can't put the captain on the bench. If he doesn't have that armband, maybe we'll see some games where he's out of form. Laka gets a little bit of a run in the side, gets some confidence, and then Auba's hunger comes back in again, and he's more clinical. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's done, but I will say this: he's 32 now. He's definitely not getting better. He's definitely not the Auba of 20 when he was 30 or 29 years old. He's now in a trajectory of his career where he's in decline. So he's not going to get any better. And I believe
I physically don't see any drop from him, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but maybe his sharpness is going because he's not going to get better. Like Auba is not missing the chance he missed on the weekend. He's having a better touch that he had in the the Watford game. He's just not the player of old, and I'm not letting him live off this FA Cup glory, man. Sorry, as in
James has just piped in here with it's not a chance issue though. He's just playing shit for the past.
I don't agree,
months.
James.
I don't agree with that.
That's a bit rough, man.
James is bigging up Dominic Calvert-Lewin, so James is void.
If you look at how he played at Dortmund, right, like under Klopp, you know, with Rangnick going to United, a lot of people talk about like how a gegenpress actually works, right? You're doing a training drill to get from a defensive transitional phase to the opposition's box and scoring in 10 seconds, being able to regain your defensive shape when the attacking phase breaks down in 8 seconds. The goal really is to get the ball to him as quickly as possible.
That doesn't happen.
That's why he excelled in Dortmund's system, because if he played on the left or through the center, it didn't matter. Like the ball trajectory was direct. It was getting to him. As soon as you see him making that run, it was more instinctive and intuitively getting the ball to his feet. And I think the earliest start of his Arsenal career, that's how he played. I think like what Arteta has been trying to do is sort out the defensive and the midfield ranks to be able to kind of do a similar sort of thing. I still think it's a work in progress in terms of like another winger where we can stretch the pitch, because at the moment Saka and Smith Rowe.
I don't think it's that. I think what Odegaard's been asked to do is failing.
Hang on a second. It makes the pitch more narrow. The space that he might be trying to find, they're kind of getting into it as well, not giving him an option by stretching the pitch and maybe creating some space for him. So I think that there is definitely parts of the system that don't benefit his game at all. And I think that's why, like, on Thursday, we got to play them both. I think we just got to play Lacazette behind Aubameyang. Especially if Saka's...
I just don't think the chance creation's there when Lacazette plays, to be honest, in my opinion. In my opinion.
That's not only issue of that.
Because
we won convincingly against Villa with both
at
of
home,
them.
not United away. I know it's not the United of old, but it's still the Old Trafford, man. Even though we're unbeaten there for 3 years, by the way.
You don't play Auba, you haven't got a natural finisher. You don't play Lacazette, you haven't got someone engaging like the back line, like pressing the defenders and the midfielders.
We're saying Lacazette's not creating much, but
our team lacks something without Lacazette doing that.
100%.
I mean, it definitely does. Like no one, you know, it's what Gumza was saying about sort of creating chances. It's also off the ball. Like, you know, as soon as the attacking phase breaks down, he's the guy that is, you know, first, you know, like sort of pressing the defenders.
But when we have the ball, what are we doing with it?
First rush pass forces a turnover in possession again. But you see that quite a lot with Lacazette.
When we have the ball, what are we doing? What are we creating? It's all good, you know, being well drilled in defense, etc., etc., etc. But when we get the ball, what are we creating? It was only yesterday. It was only Saturday that we actually, for the first time this year, I think this season, that we scored 2 goals from open play.
Mm. Yeah.
You know, it shows that Arteta is obviously, you know, a defensive coach. That's what he was
wild, considering he was at City. Bro. Maybe that was his job at City, to be more defensive.
That was specifically.
We say that, but if you think of what City did under Pep, they built from the back first. His first after his first season, he spent 100 mil on wing back.
To be fair, they were like David Silva, didn't they? So doing what Odegaard is supposed to be doing.
And it's
Abba at City scores goals for fun, isn't it? If he goes to City, he scores goals for fun. Let's not get twisted. But our system is not designed to help him out, especially as he's aging. So that's the only reason I want Laka to start, because just like Gumza was saying, when Abba's not creating or when Abba's not scoring, he's not bringing up into the team. Whereas Laka, the hold-up play, the bringing in players into the game.
Did you
go on.
Sorry, did you not hear Wenger's interview with Ian Wright the other week? It's like a little YouTube clip. I'm not sure where it came out on. I saw it on YouTube, and he was talking about players, and he brought up Giroud and said it's funny because when you didn't play Giroud, you missed something, and you only noticed it when he didn't play. And I think Lacazette goes into that mold. There's a reason why Giroud's had such a good career for France, because he doesn't score the goals, but what he does is he's the wall. He occupies the centre backs. He gets things in, you'll hold it, and you can build off me. I'm not too sure what level you guys have played at, but if you play with a striker who you don't know who's going to hold the ball, he's going to win it or not, you can't build off him, because if I gamble and go and he loses it, I've now got to dig back 10 yards to go and catch my man. So I'm going to wait a second to see if he secures it first before I move. That level of football, that 2-second hesitation is the difference between getting in behind and not. And we watched it with the Liverpool goal. The ball went into Jota and Mane went. And Gabriel's gone forward. Ben White's caught on his heels and they were in. So them little things, to us, we might not see it, make a big difference. And there's a reason why Giroud's had such a good career, because when you look at him, he wasn't blessed with pace. Do you know what I mean? His goal scoring record wasn't amazing, but what he brings to everybody else is really important. And I think that's the Lacazette and Aubameyang. I think, again, Auba is a better goal scorer.
But then I guess now you just answered the question in the sense that Aubameyang is playing in a system that's not best suited to him.
That's the
100%.
issue. That is the major issue here. Not that he's necessarily a bad striker.
I'm not saying he's washed. No one said, I'm not saying he's washed at all. But I just feel...
So relax, Akpos. I'm not saying he's a bad striker, but I don't want him to be our captain, no, please.
Yeah, I think the captain thing, like, that should never have happened. And I think that's part of a wider problem that the club has, like, in terms of a lack of leadership. Now we're invested into a youth kind of transfer policy that might be a difficult thing to broach, but we've got like leaders of tomorrow in our squad, man. I mean, you know, like Sambi's already captained Anderlecht. Odegaard's captain of Norway at a very young age. Their men's squad. Tierney's captain Celtic and Scotland. You know, so I think Ramsdale, I look at him and I'm starting to really think.
Listen, you can hear him when you're in Emirates. You can hear him,
like, just the way his communication is there, like, you know. And I think we've got to probably bridge that gap at the moment with Auba. But I really think that is another thing that could create something difficult politically around the whole decision. Would you take it from a senior player to give it to a young one? You know, like, but I really think it is
disrespect, man.
Like, the thing is, like, you can be a good player, it doesn't mean you're a good captain.
Bloody
like,
Australians.
Messi was made captain of Barcelona by being by virtue of being a very good player, and I maintain I don't look at him and see a captain. You know, like, good a player as he is, he will drive people on with what he's doing, like, through his sheer brilliance and in, like, his endeavor. But in terms of being like someone that is in people's faces, that is talking, telling people where to be, that is organizing other players around them, you know, like, I don't.
So who would be your captain? Who would be your captain? Don't we know that we've got many captains, but who would be your number one? Who would be your captain?
Right now, it would either be Gabriel or it would be Tierney, Ramsdale, or Partey.
Everyone else.
This guy sounds like Unai Emery.
Yeah, but he's got 5 caps.
We got 12 captains. There's only 11 players. We got 12.
Lacazette could be a good captain as well. I don't know, but I really.
Now, who's your captain?
Do you know what our thing is?
I mean, yeah, I can't pick from those. Or Lacazette.
You know when Xhaka lost it? My captain would have been from then Lacazette or Guendouzi, and one's leaving on a free and the other's out on loan. So I can't see past them two. Them two had the character for me. But what do I know?
Guendouzi is my captain.
Yeah, but I love Guendouzi, boy. I watched him the other day. Every time there's a fight, he's just in the middle somewhere. I love him, man.
Hamza always finds a way to put in Guendouzi on the street.
If I know, you always manufacture a way. Always. Akpos, talk to us. I mean, you subscribing to the issue that the captain's weighing on him too much for him to perform his duties. If we was to take the captain armband away from him, maybe it might lift something. I don't know. Would you subscribe to that at all?
Personally, I don't think so, because I think it will be disrespectful to him to take the captain band off him right now for what he has done. Because I think at the point when he signed the new contract, at the point when he signed the new contract, they must have had some kind of conversation behind the scene with him. Like, look, we are going to bring in other players. You're the best player in this team. And he committed to a contract. And now he's not having a not so good period in terms of his form, and you want to take the captain mat off him. But I don't really subscribe to the fact that every captain of a football club needs to be getting into the face of other players. I think that every captain cannot be a Patrick Vieira. Every captain cannot be a Roy Keane, in my opinion. There are different ways of leading. That's what I understand. That's what I believe in terms of that. I don't think like every captain needs to be shouting. Every captain, anytime the team is in a shuffle, the captain needs to be in the middle along of that.
But
I don't
those
think
are
that
the captains that won us major trophies.
I don't really agree that every captain needs to be in that mode. Football is evolving.
The thing is, for me, I look for a captain that either one, okay, you get two types of captains. One that leads by example, in terms of that they're on the pitch doing the thing, doing the bit, or someone who cajoles everybody, grabs people by the, do your job, blah, blah, blah. So, but at the moment, Aubameyang is neither.
But it was leading by example when he was scoring all the goals for us. 20 goals in 20 plus
way
goals.
Back when.
No, it was leading by example then, right?
Would you class that as leading or just doing his job? Would you class that as leading or just doing his job? Because to me, he's a striker who's meant to score goals. So if he's scoring,
he wasn't doing anything extra than scoring
goals. But we made mention on this show about the system.
He did put his club on his back, man. We can't deny that, man.
No, I'm not saying that, but is that being a leader or? So does that mean at the moment Smith Rowe should be captain because he's the one carrying us?
No, but
no. They made him a captain for other reasons too. The player he must be popular in the dressing room. That's one of the criteria, right? Is he popular in the dressing room?
I think that's why he got it. I think that's why
he's the coolest manager. He's the coolest captain in the world. Of course, he's popular, bro.
He's cool, man. He's cool.
You know what I'm saying? Swag.
Everybody can be a certain personality because they are a captain.
No,
that's what it is. We can't try to change the man.
Personality, like when I see him on the pitch, I don't like the past couple of home games I've been to. Like, you've got to be able to communicate your ideas. Like, the captain, you want to see him just, even on a very basic level, just vocalizing to other players what they want them to do. Like, they don't have to shout, they don't have to do the Roy Keane like dressing down on the pitch about it. Like, they can go a humble way about it, if you will. But like, I just don't see that from him at all. And a wider reservation is why I never have strikers as captains in any football manager or any football game that I'm playing, or any 9-a-side or 11-a-side game, whatever, because they're at the top of the pitch. How can you expect them to? You want someone who's in the middle of the pitch, a centre back or a centre midfielder who is at the middle of everything, that can has a peripheral view of everything. Aubameyang is not even a striker that plays with his back to goal as a strength anyway. So when is he in that proximity to be able to see what's going on behind him when he's expectant of the ball coming in front of him? That's more what like the reservations that I see in him being captain. And I do think it does weigh down on a player. They feel like an extra responsibility to perform. And when you're not performing, I think psychologically that can actually just impact the way that you try and play a lot more. You feel you have to do more, you have to try more, you feel you feel more intense.
Just to add to that, Gunnar, just to add to what Gunner's saying,
it would be like to take that away from him for a bit, see if it helps.
Yeah, because the fact that you're a striker as well, it's like if you're not scoring, it's a little bit more, and you're the captain, it's like, what are you doing in it? It's a bit more pressure. Whereas if you're a central midfielder or a defender, people aren't looking for you to score goals. They're looking for you to make an impact otherwise. I just think for this Arsenal side, Auba's just not the right captain for us. I'm definitely not saying he's done. He's definitely not done. But Akpos, when was the last time you were like, for example, in the Newcastle game, when it was 0-0 at half time, honestly, you tell me honestly, were you thinking, Auba's going to come in the second half and change the game for us? Did that go through your mind, like, really?
No, but because of how poor he has been in the last couple of games, I would be lying if I say that came into my mind, But definitely, I still think that he still got it in him. in my opinion. But we need our manager and his crew need to come up with a plan to make it work in terms of Auba. In my opinion, I think they needs to tweak something, just do something to give him more chance and bring him more into our play.
It's something for Arteta and Edu to work out as well. By the way, like I think in January, you know, like I've said all along, a central midfielder and another striker should come in as a belts and braces approach. Anyway, we might as well be. Look, Chelsea had Azpilicueta and James. They just won the Champions League. They tried to get Hakimi. They've still got 2 years contract on Azpilicueta. They're trying to do these things early. So I think from January we need to just get the striker, because we need to assume at least one of Nketiah or Lacazette, if not both, are going anyway. Do it now, like, you know, like see if a different partnership works. You know, like I think see if someone else being in midfield that allows the other attacking midfielders to create for him more. See if that works. You know, like I'm not saying he's done, but I still think we need to hedge our bets, given the position that we're in now and the opportunity we've got to actually, you know, sort of nick top 4, get someone else in January as well.
I think the issue with regards to the captaincy for me, I find it frustrating because it's, for me, the responsibility falls to Arteta. He's the manager, and ultimately, if you have your star striker that you've given the captaincy to, and for whatever reason it's not working out, whether it's a lack of form, whether he doesn't have the leadership qualities that you saw when you gave it to him, it's for Arteta to make the big call and take it away. It's not for Aubameyang to say, "Oh, here's the captaincy, give it to somebody else who deserves it."
It's true. It's true.
Arteta is the manager.
Yeah.
So if we can all see that Aubameyang right now should probably not have the captaincy, my question is, why can't he see it? He's the big man. He's the one that should make the call and take the captaincy from Aubameyang. And it doesn't have to be a disrespectful thing, regardless of how it may be perceived in the media, and the media will spin it how they want.
Of course,
we've all played football to some level, and yeah, it might be a little bit, you know, gutting for him. At the same time, it might be a completely huge weight off his shoulders. But for me, this whole captaincy debate, it kind of frustrates me, because I just think Arteta is the person that's shirking the responsibility here. He needs to make the decision, and he needs to make the decision to take it off of him. And the second thing with regards to striker situation, I've been critical of Aubameyang. I support Aubameyang at the same time. I feel as though sections of Arsenal fans are being very harsh with him in terms of like what, you know, in terms of how he's playing. You know, he's finished, he's this, he's that. At the same time, you know, when it comes to who we play instead of Aubameyang, the reason why I'm so forthcoming in that we need to stick with Aubameyang is that I just don't personally believe that Lacazette and Martinelli are the answer. I see Lacazette's future elsewhere. I know we're talking about now, but I see his future outside of the club. You know, there's a lot of rumors saying he's going to run down his contract so he can choose to where he goes. And
I don't think he's been offered a contract, to be fair.
What's that?
I don't think he's been offered a new one.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know the ins and outs, but I think it's pretty much written on the wall.
Yeah, he's gonna go. He's gonna
leave. And with Martinelli, like, for me, and I've said this before, I think we rely too much on young players, whether that be Saka, whether that be Smith Rowe. We don't need another young player in the first team that we need to rely on. Martinelli should be a supporting act. That's what he should be. At
this age, definitely.
At this age. So for me, the answer to Aubameyang, if there is an answer to Aubameyang, doesn't lie in this team. It lies in the transfer window.
100%. I agree with you. I think, you know, if the only time someone at that age should be a regular is if they're generational talent.
We've got too many youngsters, man.
Can I ask a question quickly?
Yep.
Sorry.
Go.
Like, I know we've gone off down the... Yeah, quick one. I'm going to Aussie Gooner with this then, if that's all right.
Yeah.
So we're making a big thing about this captaincy. Is this us just doing what we do and making excuses for someone who's in bad form? So I'm going to say it as it is. Even though Aubameyang's the captain, I'm seeing Ramsdale, I'm seeing Gabriel, I'm seeing these lead from the back and talk. That doesn't change because someone else is wearing the armband. So if Tierney wore it next week, I'm sure Gabriel and Ramsdale will still talk. does Aubameyang still miss that chance if he's not wearing that armband? Because we're making excuses because of an armband. But if he didn't wear that piece of material, would that have gone in? And I think that's what we've got to look at. I don't think he's probably changed his style of being a captain, but he's just in bad form at the moment. And is it he's in bad form?
He's the same man he's always been. He's in bad form. Aubameyang's going to excel when the ball drops at the front of his foot. If the ball drops in front of him, then he's going to score. If it's behind him, if it's beside him, he's not going to dribble it through. The style of football we're playing, yes, it's different. Is he going to adapt? I hope he will. Is he a great player? He always will be. I think this guy is not finished. I just think right now he's having a hard time adapting. For a captaincy, I think we should have moved that to Gabriel. If you look at him in the defence, he's barking orders in the midfield. His communication with Ramsdale's great. He's even made Ben White a better defender. And to be honest, if we go for a striker in a January transfer window, it's not to replace Aubameyang. No. We need to get someone, right? First of all, we've got to get it right because we're only going to have one chance at this. We all know Arsenal's a bit, when it comes to money, it's KFC, guys. So we're buying, we got to buy good. I'm going to pass the hat around, guys. Put your money in there. And
what we got? 25?
Yeah. So we got to get it right. We need to get it right. And it's not to say this guy's coming in for Aubameyang, get rid of Aubameyang. It's this guy's coming in, one, to hopefully give a little bit of pressure to Aubameyang, but to learn from him as well. Because Aubameyang's got a lot more in him than just goals. This guy was clinical for years. He's a book. This guy can make a striker better. It doesn't mean just because he's not scoring goals that we're done with him. Yes, he should go on the bench for now. But I do believe in time, he's going to get back to his form if we can play the style of football.
Yeah.
But we have to get a decent striker in, guys, because right now, who we got? Eddie Nketiah. And no one's rating Lacazette. I'm not saying Lacazette's the best in the world, but I'm saying right now he brings more to the team. He does. But he's not a solution. No. We don't have any other solutions. And look, and Martinelli, he weighs as much as this mouse. Yeah. He's going to get knocked off the ball very easy. He's not a striker. He's a winger.
No, he can eventually I see him being a number 9 when he fills
Eventually, but not now. He still needs a bit more in him, man. He needs more time.
The thing is, though, the conundrum's going to come in January when Aubameyang goes.
He could play as a number 9 with a second striker behind him, I think.
When Aubameyang goes to African Nations, right?
I don't think he could play.
Exactly. So there's going to be a problem.
I mean, I personally, I just think Lacazette being behind someone, like, it's been working all right for us. In these games, I was there at the Palace game when we were 2-1 down. He equalised in the last minute, went on that run where he was in the team, and that's how we were playing. I think Martinelli could play as like the main striker in that sort of formation, but he couldn't play as a lone striker in like a 4-3-3 or something.
Definitely not. But guys, do you remember when Wenger was still the manager and what's his name? Mathieu Flamini was actually in his last year of his contract, right? And like out of nowhere, he was like an absolute beast for that season. Do you remember that season? Yeah. He was doing madness. He was scoring 30-yard screamers against Newcastle, doing madness. Yeah. And then, I think one of the reasons why he did so well that year is because the club kind of disrespected him, left his contract situation so late. He started playing well, and they were like trying to.
And then he put 2 fingers up at us.
Yeah, he was like, "What? You lot had all that time to sign me up." Yeah. So I think right now,
he went Milan, didn't he? Did he sign for Milan?
Yeah, won the Serie A title with Milan. Didn't do much after that season, but still. But I think we need to max out the same thing with Lacazette. I can see Lacazette having a good run this season. Like, all right, you lot have been
paying for a contract somewhere, right?
18 months. I'm going to show you what I'm about. And when he came, if you see that celebration when he came on against Crystal Palace, you could see the hunger. Like, look, I am the guy in it. You lot need to respect me. So in situations like this where Auba has a dip of form, put Lacazette for the next 3 games. Even if you do plan to bring Auba in, like, put him in for the next. You got nothing to lose. It's not like Auba's popping up goal left, right, and centre. Like, what we got to lose?
That's right, man. That's right. We're not losing anything.
Do you know what that gives you as well? Sorry, Canners. I think what Nigerian's saying is correct, and what it does, it shows you what character you got. So Lacazette coming off the bench in that game showed you what character he's got. He's on his way out. We all know he's been disrespected a lot in the last 18 months because, again, if you think last season he scored 3 and 3, missed 1 chance and got dropped again and then didn't start for how many weeks. So he's been treated like that consistently, and he's got that fire in his belly that I look to someone who sits next to him on the bench in Nicolas Pepe, and I don't get that same fight and fire from Pepe. So Martinelli, Aubameyang, Arteta's interview the other day was quite telling when he said Martinelli's a pleasure, blah blah. Even when he's not playing, his hunger and desire and his training.
Yeah,
he
because
wants to be on the pitch.
at the ground was like, oh.
Martinelli, so I thought Pepe's going to come. When Saka went down, I thought that's Pepe. He's on the right-hand side. I've never seen Martinelli play on the right. But Arteta's words afterwards, again, it might be me reading too much into things, but he did mention the way he trains. He's always, even if he only gets 5 minutes, he works his socks off for them 5 minutes, like it's his last 5 minutes. So that to me is that a dig at Pepe to say you ain't doing enough behind the scenes to warrant coming on. So dropping Auba for a game or two. Again, it happened against Tottenham. He didn't play against Tottenham and did that light a little fuse up him. It did. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't been dropped since as such because obviously he's turning up on time now. So sometimes you have to, every player you manage different. Some players you put your arm around. Some players you give them that treatment. You pin them up. You give them the rocket. And Auba might just need, actually, taking you out for 2 games. And he's either going to respond and say, nah, I'm not having it. I'm coming back firing. Or I'm going to do a Pepe and just chill on the bench. And then, he's not the guy to build around for the future because he hasn't got the desire to push us forward. So I think sometimes you need to make them decisions as manager. And I think it's something he needs to do because I'm Team Lacazette all day.
Look, Aubameyang off the bench could do some bits against United. I'm not saying... You never know.
Yeah, no. Get it. Wicked. Guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this up. It's been a fascinating debate by everyone. Everyone's put their points across. I think it's something, obviously, that's going to rumble on. A lot of, things are going to change because, obviously, we've got the African Cup of Nations coming up. So Aubameyang will be out for a month come January. So there will be something, obviously, changes afoot there. Just one thing, though, before we do go, I just want to say, rest in peace to 2 legends that have passed today. Obviously, John Sillett, who masterminded that great 1987 FA Cup final victory against the Scum. And obviously, our own Ray Kennedy, man, who want us to double at White Hart Lane with his header. Listen, man, both legends of the game, man, and may they both rest in peace. Guys, I just want to, again, just want to thank you, man. It's an amazing stream. You guys always bring the fire, man, to these debates, man. It's just wicked. Love to have you on. We're going to put all the descriptions of where we can find you guys in the stream. I'm
sorry.
I know. He's something else. Flip's sake. Everyone's killing Pepe.
My son is on fire.
I know. Listen, you need to give your son a slap.
He's on point.
He's holding it down.
He likes discipline. I'm never at home nowadays. He likes discipline.
Listen. Guys, listen. Thank you very much. GTalks, Aussie Guna, Akpos, and we've got the foundations, Gumza, Nigerian Englishman, and Gunner King. I want to thank you guys from the bottom, man, of my heart. Wicked stream today. Bless, love. We out.